can get the right screen up here.
Oh.
There we go.
I'm so small now.
As many of you stand in the... Hold on. I'm having an issue with my Windows. All right, I got it. Interact. Okay, this is weird. My interact window for Owlbear Rodeo on the map is bringing up the... There we go. It was bringing up the big plus 45 for the domain dice. Ooh. I don't know why. So, you all are standing in the room with the pillars of stone glowing faintly with the ancient Thessalonian ruins, having just defeated 3 of the combusted. This book could be
that was quite something. Lumi says as she wipes off of her armor.
Health check. Is everybody alive in there? And Millie comes through the door.
I'm good, Millie. Lumi sounds off.
Crispy. Definitely crispy in here.
Velynia's looking down at several parts of her armor that are still actively smoldering, and she's like, I suppose I'm fine. If I had to put a number on it, I'd say I'm 24 out of 56 fine, though.
That's not fine at all, dear.
I'm trying to make sure that everyone knows
You're
that
half
I'm
the
fine.
woman you used to be.
Well, thank you. I've been trying to lose weight, but that's neither here nor there. I don't want to be the one to vote we go topside again, but I really think we are pushing our luck here.
Listen, we can just patch ourselves up and maybe we go a little bit further. Lumi presses to go on a little bit. She will approach Velynia. She'll approach you with her healer's kit, whatever it's called in this game. Healer's toolkit, ready to go to help bandage up your burns from this fight.
Velynia sits down crisscross applesauce in front of you and just kind of presents herself, do whatever you're gonna do. And she just kind of shrugs and looks at Lumi like, what are you looking for so hard down here?
Oh, there's something beyond what any scholar of ancient Thassalon would even dream of. This is the source of the Hellstorm flume, and I gotta know more. It's gnawing at me. But we can let that rest for just a moment. Here, can you lift up your sleeve a little bit? I need to get, yeah. And she will take the action of tending to wounds here, whatever it's called.
Treat wounds.
Treat
yes.
wounds.
Good pull.
That's the one. Treat wounds, which is a 10-minute activity that Lumi's doing on Velynia.
And as Lumi is treating Velynia is just kind of looking around, trying to take in all the details of this room. Obviously, there's this big kind of hub in the middle, and these pillars remind me, Jake, are these kind of orange glowing? I think you said they kind of look like that middle part, the source.
So, yeah, the red pylons in the central stone, the most notable things about them is that while this entire room and the hallway from which you entered are completely covered in soot and ash, these 6 stones, the 5 surrounding and the central stone, are completely devoid of ash. They are red and they faintly glow. They seem to occasionally simmer with faint fiery energy, to which Lumi at least had identified that they were Thessalonian ruins that were occasionally lighting up. I had equated it to similar to when Gandalf threw the one ring into the fire and it made the inscription on the ring show up. Though not as brilliant.
Sure. So I think Velynia's taking this in, and she's also kind of like looking around for the less obvious like details of this room. Like she's kind of already thinking like if more of these things show up, like where's the most strategic place to stand and to be and to hide if need be and to fight if need be.
Anybody else?
Mo is looking around for any of the ruins, arcane symbols, anything that's something that will trigger his inventor type in what's the word I'm looking for? Curiosity.
I would say you could use some form of recall knowledge, academia or arcana lore, unless you can make an argument for a different lore.
I have Crafters of Appraisal, which for knowledge of items, constructions allows you to discern their magical effects as well. But it's more for identifying magic items, I think, for that. Action, arcane or crafting, like I said, I'm completely okay with whichever one you think.
This is less of
Arcane?
like an item. These are
Okay.
It falls more into the arcane
Perfect.
region.
All right.
Excuse me.
Let's 26.
Okay. So while Lumi's healing folks up, you're moving around and just taking closer looks at these red stone megaliths. And looking more closely at the stones, you see, similar to what Lumi had uncovered, but you realize that what looks to be almost like a marbled pattern on these stones, as you get closer, it's not a marbling at all. It's thousands upon thousands of tiny glowing Thessalonian runes that's causing this sort of fiery shimmer to it. With that 26, you realize that this Hellstorm focus was, once upon a time, the control center for the Hellstorm flume itself.
Okay.
It was from here that whoever was trained in or had the knowledge or the skill, they could activate, control, focus the flume. But you also know that, or you suspect, that activating the flume, should you even have that sort of knowledge, reactivating the flume in its current state right now would be a catastrophic, devastating explosion that would more likely than not take out all of Sandpoint.
Oof.
Okay. Here's an important question. Would I know how to activate it based off the information?
This is probably the equivalent of having never seen a missile silo.
Okay.
And trying to decipher how to launch a missile.
Okay.
This is not something you can just look at and go, yeah, give me a few minutes. Let me read the manual and figure it out.
Gonna spend days or weeks or even months down here figuring it out, probably.
There's a whole 6-week course.
Yeah.
I'd like to start a project which is activating the nuclear launch codes from below Sandpoint.
hobby, more or less.
I mean,
Mhm,
it's knowledge. So, yeah, it's destructive knowledge, but I'm just saying it's knowledge.
Very.
So,
So
Millie goes to patch up Moa and decides that the bandaging is inadequate and gives you a healing potion. Also, so you get one of my minor healing potions.
okay.
how much total time is being spent on healing?
20
I've spent
minutes.
20. I've spent 20. Yeah.
20 minutes because
Mhm.
what is it? Lumi is healing herself and Vel. I am doing me and Moa.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Once
Look
So
at that teamwork.
so you guys are working simultaneously. Moa, while you're working on him, is just sort of looking at the stones, and I just picture as you're trying to bandage him up, he's just kind of like holding an arm out, trying to.
Mhm.
And Velynia, you're looking around, and you are sort of after a little late after the fight has already broken out. You're looking
Yeah.
for the best strategy.
Yeah, right. The cows are out. Time to close
Like,
the barn door.
how could we have done this better kind of situation.
Yeah. I'm watching game film here.
I would like you to give me a perception check,
Okay.
and I'm going
And,
to
like-
give you a +2 circumstance bonus because you're the
Okay.
only one who's not actually distracted by an activity that you're doing.
Okay. Plus what circumstance bonus you said? Plus
+2.
Okay. That's only a 16. I think Velynia is seeing like a replay of the fight kind of like superimposed over this room and just kind of like doing that like supercomputer thing where she's kind of just like rehashing it and what could have gone
Yeah.
better, like you said.
Okay. So, let's see if I can do this. For simplicity's sake.
By the way, guys, we had 45 minutes left.
We're now at 25.
So now you're at 25 minutes of Lumi's Vile incantation.
Lumi's words of protection. What are you talking about?
Those were your words, Vile incantation. Just saying.
Lumi's abysmal fucking.
For simplicity's sake, I have hidden Natalin's icon.
Okay.
This is one of those cases where
She's just with us.
I think it's best to. She's just going to fade to the background. I don't
She
have her
turns into
sheet.
a cloud of vapor.
Yeah.
She's steam.
So so eventually, after that time, you're able to get healed up a bit. This room has been quiet. Through the open door, the halls have been eerily quiet. It's very much like in a classic like Baldur's Gate or Skyrim or Oblivion or something, where you can hear the distant sound of like stones clattering, or just that sort of hollow, empty cave sound almost.
Did I hear anything with my perception check, or just was that an absolutely fucking not?
I think it's primarily that you're hearing those distant sounds echoing off to the west, indicating where that hallway is.
Okay.
Here, sort of in this area, you can just see that it extends into darkness. Other than that, you have the door that you came through here, and there was another door that you had not investigated that was right up here at the end of the hall. Where your vision is right here, is basically in the corner of where that
Jacob,
hallway is.
Remind me, the door that you were caressing with your pointer.
This one?
is that's the door that has the largest concentration of runes and whatnot on it, right? Because that's the
Mhm.
one
Yes.
that
good
Lumi
pull.
found
Lumi
before
paused. Yes.
before she found the secret door,
Yes. Yes.
which is the one we're in now.
Yep.
I think
Yes, I
Velynia
believe
would
that is
stand up
correct.
and she'd just kind of like look at Lumi's job and be like, "Thank you. I think this will do for now." I
And
mean,
so, what I
we
was
only have
thinking,
so
well,
much time. Yes, take a
if
look.
if those goblins were trying their best to dig to find what's here, I think we have to find it too. Because
I
what was his
agree.
name? His name was like a Rapscallion or something. Well, he's
Something like that.
yeah.
I mean, are you sure
We-
they weren't trying to find this?
That's what
This
I'm thinking
seems
they're trying
like-
to find, but we can't
Well,
know for sure.
They said that they were looking for a weapon.
Well, I mean,
And
this thing's a
then
weapon, isn't
Millie
it?
just kind of gestures
The
vaguely.
Hellstorm Flume was a weapon, was it not?
It was.
Back in the before times. I
It's
mean,
a
I
bit
think
of an
this is-
understatement.
Yes, I think this seems like something they would be trying to find.
Yeah, considering this thing would probably blow up Sandpoint in the half of the coastal side if it got activated.
Velynia is looking now more closely at these like pillars. Do I see these tiny runes?
If they're pointed out to you and you look very close, you can absolutely see that.
Lumi, can you make any sense of these?
I can try my best. I've been kind of glancing at them as I've been patching you up, but they're really, really arcane to me. And she'll try her best to rack her brain about how best to interpret these runes. She is able to read Ancient Thessalonian and has Arcana proficiency. So,
Well, if it helps, they don't seem to have much juice left. They're flickering like a candle about to sputter out.
I think you're right, Millie.
Go ahead, Lumi, and make a recall knowledge, arcane
Cool.
lore, arcana lore.
it's going to be a 23.
Damn,
So
that's pretty fucking good.
basically, it's sort of like peer reviewing Moa'Kee's assessment.
backseat
Moa'Kee
driver.
Moa actually had the higher result, and you're basically able to corroborate that. His translations were pretty much right on. This isn't something, though, that you're able to easily... It's not like you can just sit here and go, okay, I figured out what the whole inscription is. You basically took a very small section of it and were able to kind of deduce, and there is a little bit of repetition, but every one of these pillars is covered in thousands upon thousands of runes.
Yeah. Lumi will say out loud, God, I gotta get down here sometime again and write all of these down so I can study them up back home.
I will say, for both Moa and Lumi, you suspect, given little bits and pieces you've heard, but also there are people in Sandpoint that have resided here for decades upon decades. Not to mention, there is the organization known as the Rune Watchers in town that sort of keep tabs on ancient Thessalonian stuff. You suspect that if you can find the right people and ask the right people, when you're back in town next, you might be able to learn more information.
We can always bring this discovery, or at least the runes themselves, to like the Rune Watchers. I thought they were kind of cool, but for some reason they don't like me too much, I think. I'm not sure.
I think we need to be very, very careful about who we bring this information to. I mean, this is a weapon. If you and Moa are correct, it's a weapon that could destroy Sandpoint. And if that information falls into the wrong hands, it could
Well,
be
people
the
will
end.
want to leave.
I mean,
people will want that kind of power, Lumi.
I might know a guy that's trustworthy, but here's the other thing: we just don't tell him where it is. It's a secret door, so they're
But
If they-
Moa, there's no big secret where we've been all this time.
Correct.
we've been underneath, but like I said, took a secret door to get into this place, so it's hard to find.
Is
Not saying they
is this-
can't. It's just going to
is
be
this a s-
difficult.
this a secret then that we keep between the 5 of us?
I think it has to
I-
be for now.
Even my dad?
And I kind of look sad at Lumi, and I
I-
just kind of like,
I can't lie to my dad.
you shouldn't lie to your father, but you just should maybe omit this. Tell
Well,
them we found...
that's a lie through omission.
Lumi, if your father knows about this, he'll have to send people down here, and if he sends people down here, then the information will get out that this is down here, and if that information's out, it could fall into the wrong hands fairly easily.
And then the study of this, then figuring it out, it'll be my own personal responsibility then. Me and
Right.
Moa we'll figure this out.
Right. I think that's for the best.
Speaking of figuring this place out, she's trying to like change the subject, but beyond like lying to her father. Well, there's that passageway up north a bit, and then there's to the west as well.
That's right.
I want to know where that goes too.
How much time do we have before this whole
Well-
place just tries to try to kill us again?
If my hair past a freckle is correct, then we have about up to 25 minutes left.
All right. If you think
That was a joke, by the way. I don't have hairs.
I know, Lumi.
Well, then what are we waiting around for? Let's get going.
And Velynia pokes her head back out into the hallway and wants to check this door for traps.
Lumi is going to go into the middle here and kind of peer down the tunnel, as well as keeping an eye on Velynia.
Got a nat 1. I am still hurting for certain, and I'm distracted.
I think because Lumi's peering down the end, the other two are still in the room. Velynia, you don't even realize it. You like half-ass a sweep for traps.
I'm a little nervous about the gravitas of the information that we're now keeping a secret, and I'm just like, Velynia's head is going a million miles an hour with this.
You do notice that the door is locked.
Shit.
It would require a key. It would require a makeshift key, picking the lock, or brute force.
I would like a... Who the fuck do you think I am, Tira the Sunmaned? I would like to please try a thievery check to pick the lock quietly and gently.
Would
Yeah,
you
while
like
you're
some assistance with that.
No, Moa.
Well,
Do you need some help with that?
No! I got a 15.
Wait, can I do the? Can I help?
No, thank you.
So as you are
Aid
doing
to the
this, and they
action.
keep go, hey, do you want help with that?
We'll
Do
have
you
to
want
be
help with that?
willing,
And you're
we'll
like,
be willing.
you go no, and as soon as you say no, you snap a lockpick.
Shit.
Are you sure about that?
And I think Velynia just barely manages to get the shard of lockpick out
Yeah,
of
you
the
did
lock.
critically fail it, so I will allow one more thievery check before you muck up the lock on this. Either
Lumi, if you would like to help with this.
well, that
would be-
depends, because Lumi was peering down the hallway. Do you want to abandon your peering down the hallway to help?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
As soon as Velynia's like, "Hey, if you want to help," I'm like, "Okay." And
It's
she'll
like-
with her smaller.
Hold the
her smaller
flashlight for me,
stature.
son.
Yeah. Well, she's a +9 thievery as well, so she can
Oh my
literally
God.
do the aid action here to help you out.
Great.
So I got a 20 on my aid, which is
That adds a +2 to my.
you get a
right?
+2 because I'm not a master. Yeah, you get a plus. Oh, sorry, you get a +1. Sorry, +1.
Oh, okay. So that is that is a. Fuck it. I'm gonna use a Domain dice. This is bullshit.
What'd you get
I'm
in your
rolling,
next
like,
roll?
5. So that would make
Oh,
it a
wow.
17.
Okay.
Oh wow, that is bad. He says.
Yeah, that's how that should be translated.
That's a nat fucking 20. I picked the shit out of that lock, and Lumi helps. And feels
Tamiko,
good about herself.
for a minute there, Carrie's like me trying to pick locks in Oblivion. Snap,
Shit.
snap, snap.
Shit.
Dang it! I hate
Shit.
lock picking.
The Oblivion minigame is so fun though.
It is now. I'm an expert with 100 lock picking.
I have not
My
yet
lock
played the
pick?
remaster.
My lock pick is at 40, and I can pick any lock.
No,
Ooh.
I had to do the exploit where you sit there on the last tumbler and you just keep mashing the button
Mhm.
until you level up. It was great. Anyway, you get that sweet relief as on your third lock pick
Okay.
there.
I just I'm not
That
saying it.
you-
I'm not saying it.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up.
I said,
I do
okay.
turn to Lumi and I smile and be like, no, you're a lucky charm.
And the last tumbler falls into place, and you hear the lock go, and there's a little bit of give to the door.
Got it. And I open the door.
All right, I need to do this in Owlbear Rodeo. I'm going to need you to make a reflex save. I'm just kidding.
You motherfucker. Oh, I
It's
forgot you actually
snowing.
have to open the doors for us.
Yeah, I do
This
have to
is
open
so
the doors
fun.
for you. As you open up this room, which is about 20 feet square, and there's a door in the northeast corner. Thick layers of ash cover mostly empty weapon racks in this room. Although an old sword and a small stack of arrows sit on a shelf in the southeast corner. Sorry, my inflection was off. They're mostly empty except for an old sword and a small stack of arrows on a shelf in the southeast corner. A single 7-pointed star is carved into the ceiling. At its center flickers a strange blue fire that periodically trails what appears to be snowflakes that melt away to nothingness before they reach the floor.
Oh, there's actually snowflakes in this room.
What appears to be a scorch mark radiates from under the door to the south, which is the one you just came through, as if a great explosion some time long ago burst into the room beyond. So from under the door, this room got scorched as well. So yeah, the Sahedron in the ceiling has a little bit of a blue glow to it, and there's literal snow falling from it. But the snow never reaches the floor.
Lumi will hold out her hand to catch some of the snowflakes in awe.
This is new.
I've only seen snow twice before in my life. Remember that really, really bad winter that we got?
I've only I've only been here for 9 months. I guess, was this most recent winter a bad one?
Yeah.
Like after this past one, I've seen as much snow as I need to in a lifetime.
So it's been snowing for 10,000 years in this room.
Well, onward and upward, we are on the clock, and I look at this door and check it for traps.
And what's going on with these gaps in the wall? Or is that like...
Those are
these, like,
shelves.
the-
Those are
those are
shelves
rest-
that have
okay,
dusty.
yeah, perfect.
There's an old sword. There's a quiver of arrows, and there's a few other dusty items if you want to investigate.
Yeah, Lumi will peruse these racks of weaponry for anything particularly eye-catching as Velynia is checking out the door.
My perception check on the door is a 23.
No trap on the door. It is locked.
I will do a thievery check to try to pick the lock. I got a dirty 20.
This, like the lock before, this is a particularly potent lock, and you are fumbling with it and cannot get this door unlocked.
Shit. Lumi.
Lumi.
Lumi's like peering through the shelves, and she hears Velynia kind of like rumbling under her breath or whatever she does in exasperation.
You
and-
hear her swear in Parisian,
Yeah.
and then you just see her shoulders slump, and she calls you over. Well, what do you think about this one? Any tips?
Just give me. I think I found something here. Do you want me to make a perception for the shelves, Jake? Before I help out
No, I'm not
Velynia
going to
with
make you
the,
make a perception. You can literally see the items on the shelves.
Millie
Okay.
pokes her head in and goes, "Did you find anything interesting in here?" And she'll cast Detect Magic and look at the weapons.
So, right about the time Lumi's pointing at the handful of items on the shelves, you cast your Detect Magic, and you see that the longsword is glowing. The quiver with 7 arrows in it, all 7 arrows are glowing. And there are two strike. Well, I'll just tell you this. There's two striking runes that are sitting on one of the shelves.
Ooh, Moa. Get your ass in here, boy.
I'm going to ask you guys this question.
That's magic, and that is, and
Hold
all
on.
those that look like runes.
I'm going to ask you this question because I don't remember if I specifically asked it. Do you, because the way we've been doing it is when you find certain items, you just hold on to them and then you spend your time to identify them later on. Do you want the mystery of holding on to items and not knowing what they are, or do you want to know what these are video game style as soon as you find them?
It's up to you, Jacob. It's your game.
It's not my game, it's our game, and I want to know what you guys prefer.
I guess I want to know what they are right when we grab them, but if that's
think-
like free.
I almost think that there could be like a compromise of like if it's like below half of our level, we just know what it is, and if it's like near our level, we don't know.
I
We have to make an identify check. So
I
like if we're level
that.
4, magic items are level 2 and 1 and 0, we just would be able to identify automatically maybe.
Yeah.
That makes it easier to like parse through mundane.
Or you could
magic
even do
items.
like at our level if you didn't feel like doing any half math.
Sure.
Like at our level or below, we know what it is, and above our level, we don't. That would make it. I like that idea, Vi. That's smart.
That just means I have to know what the levels are.
As Jake looks up the inevitable levels, check us out on redbubble.com. At redbubble.com, we got all kinds of great logos like the one I'm wearing and so many others. You can get our logos on t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, stickers, mugs, postcards, notebooks, and all kinds of other cool stuff on redbubble.com. And right now, apparently today only, but maybe not, redbubble.com is having a 25% off site-wide sale. So check us out on redbubble.com today, hopefully. Just search Mini Terrain Domain.
Excellent. Just
Yeah.
verifying
I
something.
say this because like Lumi literally has a striking rune on her thrower's bandolier. She's like, oh, I got one of those.
Okay. It looks like the sword, the longsword, is a +1 cold iron longsword.
Ooh.
The
That's such a
two,
good price.
then there's the two striking runes. The 7 arrows that are in the quiver. 6 of them are beacon shots. A beacon shot. Oh, that's cool. They have flecks of gemstones that stud the shaft of the beacon shot. And when it hits its target, it embeds itself and begins to spark. It makes invisible targets hidden and negates the concealed condition. So making it a little bit easier to identify otherwise concealed enemies. The 7th arrow at first looks like it's one of the beacon shots, but as you take a closer look at it, the head, you kind of clear the dust off it. The head of this arrow is made from gleaming copper, but you're unable to identify what this particular arrow is without spending the time to identify it, I should say. Tamiko, you were going to ask a question.
Longsword, cold iron longsword, plus what now?
+1 cold iron
Okay, thanks.
longsword.
Well, we better grab these.
Of course.
Do all of you have striking runes on your weapons? Lumi will ask.
I do not.
Well, then you better take one of these for sure.
I could use one. Thank you.
I can put them on later if you need.
Thank you. Yes, later would be good, Moa. We are on the clock. Speaking of, and Velynia is like tapping this lock that she asked Lumi for help with.
Oh, of course. Goodness gracious, I'm sorry, I got distracted. So I'll hold this tumbler up like this, and I noticed that the pad here is a bit weak. And I'll try and put my best to hold it and kind of shift it as far as it goes to the right, because it'll open up the chambers just a little bit more for you.
Right.
She will attempt the help action. 6 plus 9 is 15, which is good enough. So you get a +1.
Fuck. Okay, I got a 31 thievery. Thanks for the help.
I'm so lucky. You're welcome.
Very
I'm a little lucky charm for you.
Very lucky.
I like to think that this is sort of... Velynia is an expert in her field. But Lumi seems to have a unique set of expertise as well, that she seems to look at it differently. It's not that you're not good. Yes. It's that she's teaching you to look at it in a different way rather than by almost like you learned by rote. And she
can think outside the box.
Yeah. So it's not that you're not good at what you do. It's just that you're struggling with these.
Also, I'm still quite hurt. Even after all my healing, I'm pretty achy from the last battle. So
Velynia learned how to pick locks through sheer necessity, and Lumi learned how to pick locks through wanting to understand how they work.
This is
doing
fun.
that in her free time. Yeah,
exactly.
Disassembling locks in free time.
The
and I kind of
dynamic is like the Ellie-Dina dynamic from Last of Us.
Oh, it is. It's adorable. I look at Lumi and I'm like, where would I be without you, Dan? And click, and it opens.
Velynia, can you stand back away from the door for a moment? Your icon is interfering with my ability to open the door.
Sorry. There you go.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what's happening here. I never actually made that a door. That's what was going on.
Oh.
I'm like, why can't I open this door? You should recognize that you are now back in the original hallway.
We've done a lap.
Well, we've gone full circle.
So I will say, because this map doesn't sort of show what's been uncovered and things like that, that within the scope of everything, you did not explore down this long dark hallway.
Correct.
And then there is essentially right in this area, in that hallway that you've just sort of re-entered, there's a door on this wall that you did not explore. Those are the only areas in this whole section that you haven't investigated.
Well, everyone, we have come full circle, it would seem. Escape is right out that way. I don't think we've gone through this door, and we certainly haven't looked at that very dark, very foreboding tunnel. And I kind of look at Lumi, and I'm like, it seems like you're driving the chariot here, dear. Where would you like to go next?
We should probably check out this last door. And I think that we really, really should check out where that tunnel goes before we go back up top.
Millie,
we don't have to go super far down. I just want to know what kind of situation we're looking at in the future.
Millie and Moa, make me perception checks, please.
Oh, God. Something's going to chase us the fuck out of the hole right now. I guarantee it.
$21.
24.
Wow.
Oh,
21 and 24.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moa and Millie, while Velynia and Lumi are sort of checking out that room and moving up, Millie, how long did you detect magic last?
Who could say? Did we ever determine that? 10 minutes? 5
I thought
minutes?
it was 10 minutes.
10 minutes is D&D rules. It can't be that far off, right?
What, detect magic?
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of 10-minute increments in this game too.
Detect magic, concentration.
It might be 1 minute. I don't know.
It says you cast
Detect
detect magic at regular intervals. You move at half your speed.
Well, that's the exploration thing, right? The exploration action.
Or slower, you
Would
have no
be-
chance of
It's just instantaneous. It's just like a little ping. Poof. It's one time. It doesn't persist, the detect magic spell. You just send out a pulse that reads up, or that registers presence of magic.
Right.
Doesn't,
So
like,
Millie would
linger.
have pinged the inside of the
Mhm.
room when she saw the weapon racks, but
Mhm.
I don't think she'd just keep it going, because I don't know.
I think that's fair.
Jake, you're muted. No, you're not. You were
Nope,
just
I was
mouthing
mumbling.
it.
I was just mumbling. I was literally going, you detect illusion magic only if that magic's. I was just reading, speed reading through the spell. Okay. So, aside from that, Millie and Moa, you hear from somewhere behind you. Some foul, arcane muttering.
Millie, go get them. Go get them. Something's coming. Go get them.
You're muted, bud.
Millie pokes her head in and goes, "Oi, come back here."
Gosh, Velynia, don't make the room. Look at us picking locks like it's nobody's business.
Yeah. What? Millie, what?
Moa and I hear something down the hallway.
Shit.
We don't want something to come sneaking up behind us.
Yeah. Apparently it all... And I come back to about there. Do I hear it too?
Moa's like pushing you back a little bit, like just hold up. Like don't cross.
Yep.
And
What is it?
Moa sticks his head out just
I pull
to,
my sword.
I hide.
just to kind of take a look around the corner to see if you can see anything.
Lumi and Velynia make perception checks.
Oh god. My perception check is a 22.
Okay.
Mine is 10 lower than that. That's a 12.
Math.
Lumi's too busy like trying to push through bodies to get into this room.
So Lumi's still unable to hear this, but Velynia, you now hear.
Don't like that.
Lumi, make me a. What are they called? Hold on. A will save.
Oh. Oh no, that's going to be a total of 14.
Lumi's gonna go berserk and kill us all.
Good.
Lumi.
Take 50
What?
psychic
You,
damage.
you don't take any damage. But instead, I want you to interpret this how you would if you took what you thought Lumi's worst trait was, and it suddenly became amplified in this situation.
It would be, I think it would be her low self-esteem, along with her anxiety that get pulled out to the surface here.
God, so this negative effect is just like an anxiety attack.
Lumi, I think it's largely that Millie, Velynia, and Moa'Kee all seem to be able to hear something. You can see them sort of straining to get it better, and I just see like you're looking up at them and you listen and you can't hear it. they seem to hear it so easily, and you can't hear it, and you don't know what it is, and you not being able to hear it means you can't identify it. Not being able to identify it means, well, who are you? What good are you if you can't identify things, especially in this ancient Thessalonian place? Why are you even here? What is your purpose?
God. Oh, that's so sad.
Does
I lean up to...
Does that manifest outwardly, Lumi? Or are you just suddenly... Are you, like, trying to contain this?
Lumi, in this state, she sees her three companions going like, oh, there's something coming. And she's like, I imagine like the world is like getting a little bit smaller, more pinhole for her. As she's like narrowing in on this idea that she's not like these three. She's not built for this. They are so seasoned adventurers. They're putting their ears to the ground, couldn't get, there's something dangerous. Velynia's got her sword out. Moa'Kee's, ready to, go into like some kind of fighting stance. Millie's, preparing her magics and whatnot. Lumi's just like taking a few steps back. She's like, I can't do this. Listen, maybe we should, maybe we've gone far enough.
In a minute, Lumi. And I lean up and I put my hand on Moa's shoulder. I'm like, can you see it? Can you see anything?
It's a little dark and we see. And I kind of take a look to see if I can see anything.
You don't see anything, but you hear... coming from this corner right here.
From that corner right there. Oh.
The corner?
The corner of the room.
Dead ahead of you.
10 feet away from you.
I stay up here with Moa. I'm like, do I hear it from that corner too or no?
Yeah, you
okay.
Scored high enough as well.
All right.
Millie's following Lumi, and
Okay.
she's not going to let her get too far away from the rest of the group.
I'm like, I say to Moa, I'm like, I'm going to go check it out.
Wait.
Wait.
And Moa does us cast a spell, and just his hand kind of raises up and slashes at the wall. And I cast slashing gust. So a gust of wind just kind of slashes. I just raise my arm and say this blade of wind just kind of hits the wall.
You're like Pidgey.
Jeremy would be very happy.
Gust.
Erasmus
It's super
Expeditions in the chat would be very happy because you have just attacked the darkness.
Take that spell
Did he
slot.
kill it?
I'm just trying to see if from where the sound was, maybe it's something invisible, and I'm just trying to hit it.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm not
So-
good enough. I'm not like them. Lumi is hiding
You know
around the
that's not
corner.
true.
She's pressed her back against this cave wall.
You know that's not true. You're the smartest one out of all of us.
What are you
How far
doing
you-
here?
Look
No.
how far you've brought us and how many things you've figured out. Why, you faced
I'm-
things today that probably you've never seen before, but you knew about them.
That's the thing. I've never
Uncannily.
seen them before. I'm not built. I'm not good for this.
I think you're doing just fine, dear. Millie puts a reassuring hand on your shoulder.
Lumi, that abject feeling of pure anxiety and uselessness that you felt in the hallway, you realize that it's subsided dramatically out in this hallway.
Millie's mom powers, dude.
With the hand on my shoulder. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Something. No, okay. No, I think I'm okay now. Something must have gotten in my head.
It's all right, dear. I understand. There's a lot to be afraid of down here. Would you
I-
like a cookie?
I don't think I can eat anything right now. My stomach's still in a bit of knots. but I'll take a rain check for that cookie.
Oh, you know I'll always have one.
She like tries to peek through the door and like, is everything? What's going on down there? Did they?
Millie
What did they
will
see?
move out of your way.
I couldn't see or hear
don't know
anything.
you.
I think that's where you
is
guys
it?
hear whatever Moa's spell sounds like. And you see sort of a flash of light, a gust of wind, and just that quick whipping sound. Make your attack roll, Moa, as you attack the darkness.
Oh no, they're attacking something. Uh-oh. Did Jay freeze?
No.
Can't tell. Oh,
He's just statuesque in houses.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
20.
Damn.
Okay.
Critical hit
Oh,
for
I'm sorry.
darkness.
19. My mistake. 19.
So you sort of this slashing wind attack momentarily fills the air with soot and ash from the charred hallway, but also the force of the attack in the corner dislodges a section of the wall, revealing a secret
Oh.
room.
Secret tunnel.
Another one?
And now you can hear it
Secret
even
tunnel.
louder. And then it seems to just go.
Oh God, what is that?
Velynia peeks inside.
I am peeking inside, and I see this
Don't you move.
Lovecraftian horror.
Don't you move.
I won't.
As you look in, you see this small room, similar in size to the armory above. The walls of this room are adorned with unsettling carvings in an eerie-looking alphabet. To the east sits an even more unsettling sight. A 5-foot-wide egg or plant bulb carved from dark green stone. Stony tentacles or roots radiate out from the sides of the egg, making it appear to be clinging to the sides of the room. Anyone who would like to can make me a
Oh God.
recall knowledge religion or a perception check. I guess at this point it's Moa and Velynia that are
I'll
looking
do
in there.
perception.
Lumi's really good at those, but she cannot see.
I got an 18
Okay.
perception.
You're muted
11
on religion.
on religion. Yeah.
You do not recognize whatever demon, deity, demigod this is. But Velynia, you notice that on this strange altar with this sort of pod-like shape that's either an egg or a plant pod. I mean, it basically, for us, it looks like an egg from Alien. You realize that there are several fissures on top of it, and you could pry it open.
I think. Oh.
We're burning this thing, right?
Yes.
What did you see down there? What is it?
Stay back.
Stay back.
To be
Stay
clear,
out of the room.
the whispering has stopped.
I want to look in there. I'm in there.
Moa's got
Moa's
fire
at the
in his
ready.
hand.
I want to see, you said I could pry it open?
Yeah, it looks
Don't.
like there's little fissures on it, and it looks like it could open up.
Velynia, no.
Well, if anything pops out of there, you can just fry it, right?
If it doesn't get past us, clearly this is something wrong. It's not meant for here.
What is
Velynia.
it that you see? Lumi is.
Velynia,
We'll tell you in a minute.
make a will save.
Oh God. That's not bad. That's a 26.
Okay. Continue.
I kind of am just like staring at this thing covetously, and then I'm kind of like, I reach a hand towards it, like I'm gonna.
Moa fries it.
I was just gonna. Okay.
What
yep,
are you
good.
gonna fry it with?
But and basically I'm casting my
Ignition?
ignition spell.
It's burning hands.
Okay. What does your flame look like?
It's green with yellow lights in it.
How appropriate.
And it is actually currently, because I'm still in my mode, I believe I am in. Oh, I can't remember if it was force damage or if it was. Actually,
Water
no.
damage, right?
It was water damage. But you know what? I would draw. Oh, yeah. It would be water.
Good.
damage.
Water the plant pod.
Yeah.
That's probably good.
Moa'Kee, use water gun.
So
It's how you make friends.
But
The-
I could
the
change it. Take
egg
an action to
shape
change it.
is now wet. As water splashes suddenly, like I imagine this almost looking like flame, but it's made out of water. It
Mhm.
appears on this shape, and then it just goes, and it sort of further emphasizes for you, Velynia, that this plant pod looking thing or egg or whatever it is not organic. It's made of stone.
Mm.
It's
Okay.
a carving of whatever it's meant to depict. Nonetheless, you see some of the water has run through these fissures, and you kind of hear a hollow drip, drip, and sloshing sound inside it now.
I kind of like turn over my shoulder and I look at Moa angrily, and I just say, "Are you quite finished?"
No.
I am going to pry this open, and if anything pops out, then you can kill it.
I change. All right. Then I take an action and change to fire.
I will take an action to stride. What's going on in here?
And Moa's just kind of holding off.
I think
Just-
Velynia puts her sword away, and she like goes to like get her fingers in and pull this thing open. I want to see if there's fucking treasure in here.
Do you have like a
It's-
crowbar or something?
Not right now. Maybe it's brittle. If it's not brittle, I'll get my sword back out and pry that fucker open.
You do not need a crowbar.
It's brittle.
no, it's
you start-
alive. It's gonna.
You start to pull on these edges, and as soon as you put pressure on it, you see all of these little fissures just go like this.
Ooh. Oh.
And it opens like a plant or almost like a mouth as you see tiny rows of sharp spikes along each of these petals.
Can I like spring away as soon as this happens?
Inside
Oh god.
is an ancient skeleton. And gripped in the hand of one of the hands of the skeleton is what appears to be a lump of solid jade. Almost like it almost looks like a knot, not a lump, really, like some kind of a knot carved into jade.
I want to very quickly. I think Velynia this is very much like that scene in Indiana Jones where he's like, he sees the thing and he's like trying to like decide. And I think Velynia wants to just like try to like grab this. She doesn't even go for just the jade. She will take a handful of this ancient ass skeleton if she has to. She just wants to fucking like grab it, and hopefully this thing doesn't shut like a mousetrap.
Lumi, have you actually taken a look in the room?
I don't know if Moa'Kee's like blocking me from getting near.
I mean, you can move. You can move around.
Boxing
him.
you out.
Unless he's
Yeah,
actively
but-
blocking you.
Yeah, unless Moa'Kee's actively blocking me because you're
He
like
put
you got your fire.
he
stance
put his
moving.
hand out to, but if you want to walk around him, you
Yeah, he would,
he's-
Lumi would just go like underneath your hand.
and then Moa just looks at you as you're like, he puts his hands up in the air like, okay, and
All
then
of these women. Jesus.
yep, and it's like fine.
Go ahead
And
and
I would absolutely love to look at this thing.
go ahead and make an arcane lore recall knowledge check.
All right, would you classify this as esoteric lore? Let me see. It's a special kind of lore regarding haunts, curses, and creatures of any type.
What was the first word?
Haunt.
No, this is going to be sorry, I said arcane. I meant religion, not arcane.
Okay, cool. So if it's not any of those three, then I will use. Okay, that's me 29 recall knowledge here.
As Velynia reaches in and snatches out, just for fun, go ahead and roll a reflex save.
Oh God, I don't wanna. Okay. 21.
You reach in and you snatch hold of this knot of jade, and you hear the clatter of bones as you basically knock loose all of these ancient finger bones. The rest of the skeleton sort of crumbles in, and you rip your hand back and you're holding this lump of jade as Lumi, you realize that what you are looking at is this room is a shrine to the Clippeth Lord Yemasoth. Yemasoth is
Wow.
depicted as a nightmarish octopus with a multitude of tentacles, each ending in a method of inflicting pain. His body is a single massive mouth filled with sharp teeth and stinging tongues. You know that Yemasoth is also known as the polymorph plague. And that this Lord edicts have to do with embracing your worst aspects, performing dangerous experiments on yourselves and others, and whispering foul secrets in the ears of leaders. This is the equivalent of Cthulhu in this world, or as near to it, without actually being Cthulhu.
Fascinating, Lumi says as she looks at the religious shrine of Yemasoth, the Clipoth Lord.
And I think with that check, you would recognize that the pod that Velynia has just snatched this treasure out of was probably the ancient equivalent of sort of an Iron Maiden. A cruel pod of pain and transformation that somebody was punished within. Meaning that somebody was probably placed within this thing within a few days of Earthfall.
Ew. Oh.
That, if I know anything about Yemasoth, well, one of his greatest creeds is the invention of different ways of torture. Was there a body in there by chance? She sees as you pull out this whorl of jade.
Do you want the truth, or do you want something that'll make you feel better?
Well, you should know by now that I think the truth is the most important thing.
And I think Velynia kind of like is almost hypnotized by this jade. Like, this is worth some fucking money. And upon Lumi's like insistence upon this
Before you answer,
oh.
as you're staring entranced by this piece of jade, you realize it's not just a random knotted carving. What you took to be this sort of whorl or knot, as you're turning it over and staring closely at it, you realize this lump of jade is depicting a serpentine body curled into a snug knot. It looks like it is some sort of snake that has been carved in the form of a knotted coil.
And I think Velynia kind of like looks at it a little bit more and then just kind of like shrugs, tosses it to herself, catches it, and puts it in her pouch, and then just says, there was a body in there.
Well, I think that was a torture device then. A prisoner of the Thessalonian people, or at least whomever was in charge of this place. That body's probably been there since Earthfall.
And Velynia says, well, whoever's loss is our gain, I suppose. How much time do we have?
Moa, I have remind me, when you make that scroll of that ritual of consecration, we gotta come back down here and consecrate this place. This is
that's gonna be it's gonna take me a while for that, but
that's why I'm saying just the reminder.
So you want to consecrate? I mean, your father is probably the best to consecrate this thing.
Well, I don't know if he's. Oh, you're right. But no. But you said that we said that we can't let anyone know of this place.
I didn't say that. That's what Belle
I
said.
said that. We can't.
We need to find a way to consecrate this place. Between Abraxas and now Yamasoth, it seems like the pantheon of clipoths and demons that were revered by the tyrants of Thassalon. They are quite pervasive in this area. Perhaps even it's what powers the Hellstorm Flume. I'm not too sure, but it's a working theory of mine.
Velynia kind of.
There are 7 stars, and if there are 7 demon lords down here, you do the math.
Kind of puts her hands on her hips and kind of like shifts, starting to think Lumi's right. And Velynia looks over at Millie and just goes, "What do you think?"
Oh, I don't have any opinions about anything that's happening here. It's a little out of my wheelhouse.
Do you think we should tell Father Xantis, or do you think we should keep it a secret? That's what I'm asking.
Well, all I can say is if I was Father Xantis, I'd want to know, since all of this happens to be right below my cathedral.
Right below my home too. Don't you forget.
I'm starting to agree with you, Lumi. I think just one too many bad things down here.
I kind of want to know how it all works.
As do
It's like a puzzle, but the more I think about it, the more grave of a puzzle it is.
And I think it might be entirely too big for us. I think we do need to employ some help.
We should see where this goes first. But yes.
Right. And this is the last thing, and then we are going topside. Do you promise?
Of course. I just want to make sure we got to leave no stone unturned, right? We got to know what. If we know what's coming up, we can at least go back up and prepare a little bit. Get the right ointments and tinctures and potions and whatnot.
Yes.
Even scrolls if we need to. But but this is a lot that we've found so far, and well, I have a lot of ideas about this place, and I hope that none of them are true.
Very well. Moa, care to come up front with me?
It seems Mo is a little bit absent right now. I think he's gone to
be
relieve
careful.
himself.
So
Velynia goes up and listens down the tunnel.
I'm gonna make this easy for you, because one, you've only got maybe somewhere between 5 and 7 minutes left on
clock is ticking.
the incantation from before, but moving forward, some of you have dark vision or whatever it's called here.
I have low light.
Low light vision that lets you see far enough that even just moving forward just a little bit, this tunnel only goes about a maximum of 200 feet before it's completely caved in.
I have full on dark vision. I can see in
Whoa.
darkness.
So far.
I can see in the dark. Wow.
It's like quite a ways too, isn't it?
It's however long normal vision is.
Yeah, normal vision doesn't have a limit because you can see
Far,
miles with normal
so
vision.
far.
I can see in darkness and in light just as well as I can see in bright light. So
Yeah,
it is-
I read up on discussions of this, and it's basically like, for the most part, dark, unless it's magical darkness, doesn't hinder you.
So she can see all the way down.
Yeah, you can see that this goes about 200 feet, and then it's caved in. But based on what you know about where you are under the cathedral, a quick assessment tells you if this tunnel is moving a couple hundred feet and collapses straight to the west, this is taking you, or would take you, directly under the old light.
Are we that far north? Oh, we are.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically...
So Lumi will point out the end of the tunnel and be like, well, it ends in a cave-in. I don't know if you can see it, but my eyes can let me see all the way till its end. It's like kind of caved in. And I'm just running the numbers, but if we did that many paces, it's about 200, feet down that way. If we did that many paces up above ground, well, that's where the ruin of the old light is. And I think that connects to this.
All right.
So maybe we should try going that way around.
I think that's definitely worth our time. But speaking of time,
We don't
what
have
do we have
much.
before this place decides to kill us again?
We have enough time to check out that last room.
Oh, okay, gods. And Velynia is nervous. She's trying really hard not to appear nervous, but she is walking quickly back up to the where we came to check out this last fucking asshole. She checks it very quickly for traps. Oh my god, it's a 23 to check for traps.
Yeah, Lumi's feeling like almost a bit too at home in these ruins now that we've explored it a bit. She's like, "Oh, I've mastered this place," scooting around, her little tail swishing happily.
Is this door trapped, bud?
We'll find out after the break.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We're about to die. Whew,
We're going to take
this
a
place.
short break, and then, we'll see you on the other side. All right.
Remember when the toughest thing we had was emotional damage?
So I believe you had just rolled to check for traps.
Sure did. I got like a 21.
You got a really good roll. This door is not trapped.
Awesome. Is it locked?
This door is not locked.
Ooh, I open it.
Give me 1 second. You
Ooh,
open
banquet.
the door. What'd you say?
I thought it was food.
That's not a banquet, that's homework.
Fucking the opposite of a
That's
banquet.
more
For
likely.
someone who's hungry for knowledge, they're the same to me.
You see, immediately, you see a wooden desk sits near a tipped over chair lying on the ground. Layers of dust cover the desk and several scrolls and ledgers atop it. A large map is displayed on the wall opposite it. While the colors are faded, it's still mostly legible. There's one door in the south wall.
How is the map on the wall? Is it like just like pinned up with like little pins or tacks or something? Or is it like carved into the stone itself?
Yeah, it looks like somebody drove a couple of iron spikes into the wall, and it's got like a wooden rod that goes across that's fastened to, and then some kind of like a string or whatever. It's not directly affixed to the wall.
Yeah, so Lumi will be doing her best to try to remove this map from the wall. Seeing as it's faded and whatever.
I mean, you can look. You can look at it.
Yeah. She wants to not only
wanna
look
take
at
it.
it and also take it.
Okay.
And she wants to remove it carefully so it doesn't like break or rip or whatever or crumble. But as she's removing it to take it,
I need you to roll a handle.
she also wants to glance at
I need you to roll a handle maps check. I'm just kidding.
it. Handle animals, you got it.
That's not a thing.
Um,
I'm investigating the desk while she's doing that.
go ahead and make me a society check.
Society.
To whomst?
You, as you're looking at the map.
Oh, society, you say? This isn't a recall knowledge or anything, huh?
It's
Lumi's-
recall knowledge.
Okay,
If this
perfect.
is a map
Okay.
from here, I
Sorry.
think Lumi should get a +2 because she's from here.
Well, that's a 25.
Wow.
Okay.
Never mind. Don't give her shit. She don't need your help.
All of the so the map on the wall shows the regions surrounding the area before Earthfall. All of the labels on the map are in Thessalonian. The current coastline is marked roughly on the map as the Rasp. I'll put that in the chat.
Yeah, Lumi's definitely taking this.
And the
At the very
location,
least, this is a huge archaeological find.
the location where Sandpoint is at is labeled HF Compound. And it looks like this map had some additional markings that were added to it. That looks like whoever's office this was may have been making markings of military operations, encampments, suspected routes of attack. There is a annotation in the Hinterlands region where Thistletop stands that shows more military type markings, sometimes with arrows pointing in different directions, indicating directions of attack, things like that. Also, south of that area, or in that general area, in the Hinterlands, there seems to be a that whole area seemed to be a particular interest to whomsoever's office this was. There is a note in that area that has been circled. Or rather, this area has been circled, and the note reads, "Captured spies whisper of a sizable Shalist cohort stationed here, led by someone named Lyra LaRue. Must secure authorization from Mistress for a raid."
Cool.
Asking permission from a mistress, you say?
Yes, that is what I say.
Yeah, Lumi is
Curator.
fascinated by this, and she'll like roll it up, and stick it in her pack so that like there's like this long ass map sticking out of her backpack.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
I gotta take a really good look at this later, but we don't really have the time. What did you find on the desk?
What did I find on the desk, boss?
Well, as you rifle through papers, notes, and ledgers, every time you touch something, it crumbles to dust.
Shit.
No.
It's like burning the Library of Alexandria. There's so much lost information. Are there drawers in this desk?
The
They
drawers,
crumbled to dust too.
the drawers have been partially opened, and there's nothing of interest in them. The only thing that remains of interest in your last remaining minutes would be that door to the south.
Ugh. I think Velynia just tries to open this door. Nothing in this fucking place has been trapped.
Wait.
I'm gonna go for broke.
Man, that would have been so cruel if that had been the one trapped door.
Yeah. Oh
the
look,
And it's
water
trapped
closet.
with, like-
Closet.
With like a
The
level
personal
20
closet.
exploding rune. It's not
Oh,
though.
dead.
It's a closet.
Is there cool clothes hanging in here like the last closet we found?
There are a couple items in here. One is a key ring with 2 keys on it. The one key ring
Well, there we go.
has a skeleton.
It's a literal skeleton key.
I mean, kind of. It has the head of it looks like the head of a skeleton, also known as a skull.
A skull. The head. The
head of a skeleton.
The knob. Yeah. The dome.
It's the top part.
Mm-hmm.
The other key looks
Playing
like
taboo.
the other key. If this were a video game, would say key to armory. Basically, the locks you struggled to pick. You just found the key to.
Fuck.
The other thing you find is an old and fragile scroll, partially unfurled, and even looking at it, you recognize pretty quickly the sketching upon it. And Lumi or Moa would recognize the Thessalonian inscriptions. This scroll basically tells you exactly how to navigate the 3 steps trapped room to the statue of
She's the thing with the
Elasmus.
marbles.
Yep.
Damn it.
It's full instructions. Everything you've kind of figured out by stumbling around and getting blasted.
Imagine we went through this door first.
Terrific.
Right?
Insult and
There's
injury.
so much more would have been
So-
easier if you'd gone through this
We
room
have to-
first. I
I'm
think
taking all this shit. We have to get out of here.
I think the record will show at one point I did say there's still this room to the south you haven't gone through.
Yeah. That could have been
That was like
just
2
as
sessions
easily
ago.
a trap or some sneaky shit.
Well, listen, we
Excuse
saw,
me.
based on the
Excuse me,
dimensions,
would
it
I
would be
do
a
that?
very small chamber.
It's Moa's fault because he actually.
It's Moa'Kee's fault. I
Because
think
I
actually it's
believe
Moa'Kee's
he's
fault.
the one that actually said, "Why don't we go down here?"
I would like Millie and Moa'Kee to make perception checks, please.
Oh god, those fucking things are lighting up, aren't they? Oh god, what do they call them? There was some fancy word.
Runes?
Sahedron.
Oh, the Sahedron?
Sahedrons.
I'm using a
Lasers.
die.
18.
21.
Yeah.
I gotta fix this. Hold on a second. You guys are down to 40 now. So with your 18, you don't notice anything. But Millie does with a 21. Excuse me. As you're standing there, and they're rifling through papers and quickly ransacking this already ancient ransacked office, Millie, you notice that everywhere that there's a Sahedron on these walls and ceilings, you see runes starting to go boom, boom,
Oh.
boom, boom,
Oh,
boom,
pork chop!
boom,
We need to
boom,
go!
boom.
We need to go! The things are
I
firing up!
s-
Pork chop?
We have to go. Sprint out now. Escape.
And Lumi will like snatch a few random things from the desk and only to have them turn to dust in her hands, and then bolt out the door.
I'm also bolting.
Boom, 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 boom,
Full
boom,
speed.
boom, 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 boom. I see you
Okay.
just sitting. Oh, I was gonna say, I see you just sitting in the office.
I'm sorry, I had to get back. I was like a dumbass. I was trying to move myself on the Zoom window again. God, let's go, let's go, let's go.
You're like, shit, how do my feet work again? Yeah.
I can't. I'll get left, right. Oh my god.
Oh,
About
hell
the
yeah.
time you guys make it out into that, where you're out past where the actual Thessalian chambers are, and you're sort of where Moa is on the map right now. From behind you, you just hear a conflagration of all the Sahedron firing off again. You made it out in the nick of time.
I was close.
Oh gosh, that was super interesting.
I'm glad you thought so.
And her tail's like kind of just wagging. Like,
It's like twitching.
I
Can
gotta
we
go down here again
topside
sometime.
Oh. Can we go topside now, please?
Well, I think, well, we've seen everything we could, so we should probably head back now.
Well, have we all agreed that perhaps maybe we should clue in Father Xantis?
I think
Maybe not the girl who's visiting him, because we don't know that much about her.
I agree.
I really don't want to lie to my dad, so I want to tell him because I think that he'll have a good idea of what we can do next. And I think he knows that maybe this isn't something that many people should learn about their town.
Lumi, no offense at all to your father, but I just know that what information like this can do to men, even the best of men, it's a valuable secret that could ultimately be used for gods know what. I don't want your father to have that information because I don't want somebody else to get it out of him. It's bad enough we all know it.
So what, we say that we found Thessalonian ruins, but there's nothing really of them of too much note?
I say that we
can't
found everything in this bag. And Velynia holds up this bag with a shark tooth bracelet and a weapon and a cloak and all this. I say we tell him we found all this and we're not lying.
And what we hide out everything else
You've
from
got
him?
your rubbings you made earlier too of some of those runes.
I do. And I want to come back down here again into that fire chamber and read all the runes and try to figure it out. But I know that'll take a long time. But next time that we feel like we have a bit of downtime available to us, I think that's going to be what I work on.
And I take a knee and I put my hand on Lumi's tiny shoulder and I just say, I will support you whatever you decide as far as telling your father. All I'm saying is that knowing something like this will put him in danger. It could. And that makes me nervous. And I don't necessarily entirely trust his new friend either.
I just know that, well, and you've seen it firsthand, I'm not very good at hiding the truth.
No, you're not. And I turn around and I look at Millie and I shrug and I'm like, I don't know. What do I know anyway?
If you all think it's best, then I'll try to keep my little mouth shut about this.
It's truly up to you, dear. Millie.
I have to
No,
say
it's up to
that
all of us.
I've changed my opinion and I agree with Velynia now because she does raise a good point. If there's anybody out there who would be looking for this information and they think that we know something because we've been down in the undead hole, there's a good chance they could come after Father Xantis. But to be fair, there's a good chance they could come after him regardless.
I don't want anyone to come after my dad. He's a good man. I'll keep this. I'll keep this between the 5 of us.
Just for now. There may come a time where that will change. You're
And
protecting
really, it's
him,
only
dear.
that one piece of information that you're keeping from him.
Right. There's plenty here to keep him busy. And Velynia rattles this bag again.
Okay. All right.
And I kind of shrug and start going back towards the tunnel out. Is it this way? I don't remember. I'm lost in Owlbear
I'm
already.
off of Owlbear now.
It's right
okay.
there. Just turn left past. There we go. Good job.
Where left? Your left or my left?
I think Lumi hangs back a bit, just thinking over as she watches the rest of her companions go up out of the undead hole. She'll take up the rear and think to herself about all this as her mind races of things that have happened and things that have yet come to pass.
Things that are, things that were.
And things that will be.
As you clamber out of the undead hole back up into the boneyard, you hear a commotion from the south gate to the boneyard. You see a small knot of about a half dozen townspeople pressing against the gate. The yeah, I can't think of his name. The groundskeeper for the graveyard, Naffer Vosk, is crooked in stance but solid, holding his shovel in a defensive manner, holding back these people. As you climb out of the hole, you hear him. You don't belong here. This isn't a place for rumors or recklessness.
Lumi
One of the
will
people.
immediately. Oh, go ahead.
This is taking place about 30 feet away.
Mhm.
And Naffer's not talking to you, he's talking to the townsfolk.
Mhm.
Immediately, Tamer Rennick, who is the sort of thin, wiry, muscular Cooper in town, still got sawdust and sweat on him from his work. Says, "What is it a place for, Vosk? You can smell the rot from the street. Don't just stand there and tell us there's nothing wrong." Next to him, Willa Tom, the seamstress apprentice, stands there holding her elbows as she stares past Naffer. "I swear something came out of there last night. I saw lights. I heard voices." Jask Emerald, a retired fisherman, just looks, standing there, almost leaning casually against the gate. "Folks is whispering. You start digging holes in the ground like this, something's bound to come up. It always does." That's when Tamar spots all of you. "There! Them! They're the ones!" And then the others start calling out to all of you. "You got no right stirring up what should stay buried. We've lost enough to the past already. Why would they be down there unless they're looking for something that ought not to be found? What are you doing? Memories deserve to be buried."
Lumi will walk up to the agitated crowd, trying to help defend and stand by the groundskeeper, who she knows pretty well in her many years that she's been here at the cathedral.
Hey, Jake. And while she's doing that, I'd like a chance to be able to walk up and try to make an impression.
Sure.
Oh, fuck yes, Millie. I go up behind Lumi because I think this whole thing is going to go tits up, and I want to be sure I'm there to defend in case. I have my hand on my sword, but I don't draw it yet.
Oh, wait, maybe not. Hold on. I can only choose up to 5 people.
Well, there's 6 people.
We'll choose the 5. Oh.
There's 6 people
Okay.
here.
5 out of 6 ain't bad. That's a B+.
Okay, so making an impression is with at least 1 minute of conversation, during which you engage in charismatic overtures, flattery, and other acts of goodwill. You seek to make a good impression on someone to make them temporarily agreeable. At the end of the conversation, attempt a diplomacy check against the will DC of 1 target. You can instead choose up to 5 targets if you take a -2 penalty. The GM might add other bonuses or penalties based on the situation. Any impression you make lasts only for the current social interaction unless the GM decides otherwise.
Okay.
Now, what is happening here? Don't you have someplace else to be? What is... I understand that you're all concerned. We were checking out a possible threat that was in these holes. And we found and killed the threat. Goblins.
Now, please don't be bugging our respectable groundskeeper here. He's been tending to these graves and these gardens for many years. Just everyone, please, just back off, okay? We've checked it out. We've dealt with it, and we're gonna fill the hole right back up with dirt again. Don't you worry. And I think that part is a little bit of a lie that Lumi says.
Were you attempting to do anything mechanically, Lumi, with your speech?
Other than like making a diplomacy or deception roll to try to like make them back off, then no. I'm just trying to trying to de-escalate is what I'm trying to. Yeah.
Do you have diplomacy?
I do.
Why don't you make an impression also?
Oh, is that what?
Making an impression
Yeah,
is?
it's called
anybody
making an
just do that?
impression.
Yeah,
it's
it's
under
just-
diplomacy.
Oh, perfect. That's exactly what
yeah.
I'm doing.
Dude, look at Tamiko knowing the goddamn
Yeah, and
rules.
it's what is it?
Thank you.
I'm
It's
so
a -2, so I'd be rolling with a +10
Yeah, I'll be
with the
I'll be-
penalty.
Yeah, I'm +8 with the penalty. So
Okay. So, with Moa and Velynia sort of standing silently behind the two of you as you address the crowd directly.
Mo was just standing by the hole, actually,
Okay.
by a grave, sipping on some alcohol, waiting for the shit to
Well-
happen about 30 feet away.
Jake, I'm using a domain die for this.
Oh my god. Yes.
Okay.
I'm inching nearer to Lumi as this like this makes me nervous. I'm ready to like snatch Lumi up like a football and fucking take off if we have to.
My D20
I don't
rolls
wanna
from a
push it.
20 down to an 8. So
Yeah,
for
I
a
don't
total
wanna
of
push mine.
16.
I'm a 20.
20's pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good. PDG.
A 20 and a 16. Is for both of you a
Oh, there's
success.
no failures. Well, yeah.
For both of you, it's success. Try that again.
A regular success.
A regular success. Which means that mechanically you improve the target's attitude towards you by 1 step. So at the beginning of this, they were unfriendly towards you. You have moved them up to indifferent. Being confronted directly by you, you see even Tamer, the Cooper, he sort of takes a step back and actually kind of moves from being in this sort of tough guy stance to he kind of puts his hands down and is like, and they all just kind of, you've like deflated any anger
This
they
is like
had.
that part in To Kill a Mockingbird when like Scout and Jem go to the jail and the mob is there, and they fucking like say hey, tell him hey for me, won't you? Oh God,
They're very much
it's
like,
awful.
well, yeah, I just think it's, with everything this town's been through, we just don't need anybody kicking up the dirt of the past.
I'm from
course.
Sandpoint just as much as anyone, and this is my home too, okay?
Well, you should know.
You know me, I'm no troublemaker.
That's true. She's not. She's a very good girl, Lumi.
She's a bit of a teacher's pet. Yeah.
I know that you know that, and and Millie starts like eye contacting people. You know that Lumi's a good girl. What she delivers bread to you once a week.
Jask Emerald, the old retired fisherman.
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
Jask looks over, and you can see there's just a little bit of a smirk on his face as he goes, I've been around too long and known Lumi too long, or long enough to know that ain't entirely true. I've got a history of pilfered fishing baskets that would say otherwise. And he gives you a wink, Lumi. You should know.
That was one time.
That was one time.
That was one time that I caught you. You should know.
I kind of like am surprised by this information and secretly impressed.
You should know
I like.
Kaeryn Scarnetti.
Hmm.
And stirring people up. It ain't just Kaeryn. We have a concern. Kaern's the one that brought it to our attention.
Yes. It's Khan that made you concerned, I assume.
Why shouldn't we be concerned? We see people digging around. Somebody's got to pay
you're
attention.
concerned?
Lumi, too far, too much.
If you hadn't already
see
succeeded.
You see people doing research. It's the same as any other research.
Listen,
Nobody's digging up anybody's past. Nobody's trying to cause any harm. And whatever concerns you have were clearly planted by somebody who would benefit from there being concerns whipped up.
all right. I think everybody here has seen and heard enough and caused enough trouble here for old Naffer, and he's got enough hard work to do as this. I'm sorry, Miss Millie.
Oh.
That's all right, dear. You can come by the White Deer anytime. We'll sit, we'll have a whiskey, and we can talk about it.
He kind of looks you up as if trying to determine if you're serious or not. And he goes, all right, folks, let's move along. I think we've caused enough trouble here today. That's it. Get on. Willa, you need to get back to work. You too, Tamer. And Jask kind of make sure people are moving, and the other unnamed straggler standing there just kind of starts ushering them. And you see them start to walk away down the paths, muttering to themselves, and they go their separate ways. But you very noticeably see that Jask, the fisherman, has immediately turned west and is heading for the White Deer.
Bless his heart.
Millie turns to Naffer and says, "Oh my, are you all right? That was quite frightening."
They knew enough not to come into the boneyard while I was standing here, because I'd thunk him right upside the head. And he kind of motions with his shovel. There's a lot of bluster. But yeah, it seems that Kaeryn Scarnetti's ruffling some feathers all around town.
I think we should pay that prick a visit.
I always think that we can pretend that we filled the hole back in.
How would we? Oh,
Are
lay a
you-
board over it and?
Some
Are
sticks
you
and
all
boards and
done down
grass.
there?
Oh. I mean, how much do we
no.
really need to go back down there for?
Well, let me put it this way.
I'd like
Do
to.
you want it to appear as if you're done down there, but still have the option to easily get back in should you need to?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Alternatively, we could always at some point go try to hunt down one of the other access points.
Well, there's that cave-in, remember?
There's at least a couple of them from the Goblin Warrens.
Yes. Yes. I think in the meantime, it's a fair bet to let the gentleman cover up our entrance, and if we can allow him later to actually cover it up, I think that would be for the best.
Well, I think it's best if we cover it up because, well, I don't remember who it was, but somebody did remark on the smell, and it's getting a little ripe down there.
That's true. That's true, man.
Now that you're up out of the hole, you absolutely can smell some of the death and decay wafting from all the dead goblins wafting its way up into the fresh air.
Ugh.
Don't worry about it. You all tend to your business. I'll put some timbers over the top here and throw a couple inches of dirt. It'll be easy enough to get down in there if you need to.
Thanks, Naffer. So I'll take these to my room, I think. And she gestures to the map and stuff that she grabbed.
Well, should we just take these to your father? Or Velynia rattles this bag of treasures again.
Yeah, how about you go take the treasure and stuff to him, and you can tell him of what we found down there, while I go deal with this.
You don't want to be there to show your father all the spoils? Oh, right.
She
You don't
shakes her
want to.
head.
Lumi, where do you want us to tell your father you are? Because he's going to ask when he notices you're not with us. I'm sure it'll concern him. And then we're going to have to convince him you're okay.
Well, I'll be in my room.
Very well. Doing what? Researching?
Looking over what I found, yeah.
Looking over what you found. Well, very well. Part ways here then? Perhaps meet back at the White Deer tomorrow morning?
Oh, why not this evening?
Once
Because
again,
I need a...
though real
Isn't
world
it only noon?
real
Yeah.
world time
What
has
time is
distorted
it?
perception. You've only been gone for like 2 hours maximum.
Yes, this evening is fine. I just need a bath and a nap.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go to
I
the
reckon
White Deer
we
when I
can
get a little
probably-
tumbly grumbly.
We can probably spend the rest of the day negotiating, like selling some of the
Yes.
stuff we want to sell, identifying the stuff that hasn't been identified.
So next session,
Millie's got to go day drink real quick with one of the townsfolk.
next session is going to be a downtime session. That's
Fun.
going to allow everybody to determine. So you got between now and next week. We're going to unceremoniously end here, the session here, as you need to figure out between now and next week. You don't have to figure it out really, but the plan is obviously you're going to want to sell some stuff. You're going to identify some stuff. You've got different people you want to talk to. You can do research. You can do crafting. You can do training. Look over
Do
your
you want
down.
us to tell you in advance so that you have an idea of whether you
I
want
mean,
to roleplay it or
I
hand wave it?
I'm not gonna be mad if you don't tell me, but it'll help if I know in advance what you're planning to do, so I can plan a little bit. Because as I said
I
before,
already know exactly what Lumi's gonna do.
some of the
I
stuff.
feel like we should negotiate selling the stuff and whatnot first, so that we have an idea of how much we have if we need to buy new stuff.
Tamiko's been playing too much Oblivion and with that haggle.
Yeah.
Get that speechcraft up.
Haggle.
So yeah, our next session next week will be a downtime session, and I mean that's one of the aspects of this campaign. You go down into some dungeons, and then you come back and do some research, sell some items, and
I love it.
talk to people.
Very Diablo-esque.
Yeah,
Yes.
very much so. If only you had some town
I want Mo to
scroll
put
portals.
my striking rune on for me.
Yeah. So, yeah, the cool thing about the striking runes is they obviously enhance your weapon. But you can also, if you have a better striking rune, you can swap them out.
Right.
So, like later, if you get a greater striking rune, you can upgrade from a striking rune.
You know how we like to put stickers on your notebooks? You know, like little like stars or
Yes,
like little cartoon
yes.
characters? That's exactly what happens. You peel off
Yes.
a sticker and you put a new one on.
Yep.
I feel
So-
like everybody already has at least one form of striking rune on their weapons.
Velynia
Do they-
I
doesn't.
would say,
No, so I think that's what we need to do is check to see who has what and what of the magical properties goes best with people. So
I'm already
Well,
striking runed up.
Like I said, that's some of the stuff you guys can talk about in between.
Yay.
And then you got figure out what items you're gonna want to identify and where you're and how, and we'll deal with all that stuff next week.
Incredible.
Yeah. Thank
Love it.
you to everybody, all the wonderful folks who resubscribed toward 7210 with 22 months. Schultz C2, 49 months. 5 community subs from Tamiko, rounding out or making it so that even though you used a few domain dice this session, I think you guys have a net gain over what you were. Do I have access to the loot log? Is that in the shared notes, Tamiko?
Yes.
well, I just dropped you a link, Jacob.
God
All right.
damn, Tamiko,
But
you're
I
incredible.
actually-
Oh,
I
it's
actually
not in
I
the.
actually
oh,
removed them. I removed them from the notes because it occurred to me that that is a universal link, and the whole world and God has access to our shared notes.
Right.
We-
You don't want
That's
anybody to be able to
read-only.
change your loot.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
with the people who watch us, they're probably going to be in there and be like +2 Vorpal sword.
Right. Well,
Remind
That's
Jake.
fair.
Yeah,
That's
this
fair.
this lets me take a good look at it and just make sure if I need to have
Oh my
anything
god, we have
special.
so much shit to sell. We're gonna be rich after this. Who the fuck gives a crap about dooms?
Yeah, unfortunately, the vendors in Sandpoint only carry up to 50 gold each. Just kidding.
Shit.
No, this is a great opportunity to visit some new shops and all that good stuff. So, all right. Anyway, as I was saying, also thank you to everybody who tuned in, hanging out in the chat, all that stuff. Love seeing all the conversations going on in there. If you are somebody that likes to lurk quietly in the background, or maybe you're watching on the VOD later, know that we appreciate you and hope you enjoy the show as well. And of course, thank you to all of these amazing players. Before we go, because this was announced in the announcements before the session that get cut off in the VOD, so this is, if you've made it this far and you're still listening, MTD is going on hiatus in July. We are taking another month-long break, similar to at the end of the year, just to recharge batteries, calibrate, and we'll be back in August. But we still have like a month and a half of gaming. That's just for stream games. There'll be no stream games. There might be a couple pop-up crafting streams, but maybe. At any rate, thank you, as always, to these amazing players. We'll bring it every single week that we play. Thank you, Vi, Tamiko, Cari, Jay, and though she wasn't here with us tonight, she's with us in spirit, Kaeryn, without whom this would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we're gonna go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream, and you can say it with me if you want.
Lucky stalls.
Selling shit.